How much do you think foreign issues, international issues, are going to bear down on this election, or have already, I suppose?
It's a great question. Generally, Americans don't really care that much about foreign policy issues, and it's hard to think of an American election, even going back to 2004, where George Bush was re-elected in the midst of the Iraq catastrophe, where foreign policy has been a deciding factor. But in Michigan, which is a crucial swing state for Harris and Trump tonight, there is a big Arab American, Muslim American population, many of whom have said they cannot vote for Harris because they believe the Biden administration has been complicit in a genocide in Gaza, has killed their family members in Gaza, in the West Bank, in Lebanon. So we will see tonight whether that has been decisive or not. Donald Trump, cynical man that he is, has been pretending to be an anti-war guy and visiting Arab American areas in Michigan saying, I'm the peace candidate, vote for me, even though some of us remember that he was president and he dropped a lot of bombs. He was not a peace candidate. But yes, it could affect the decision in places like Michigan. Yes, for sure.
And of the two campaigns, what has chimed with you? What has struck you most?
That's a great question. What has struck me most is that for the first time in my lifetime, and I'm saying this even compared to 2016 and 2020, we are witnessing a mainstream political party in the Western world running a pretty openly fascistic, racist, sexist, misogynistic, demagogic campaign. I mean, Donald Trump has spent the last few days, the closing days of this campaign, saying outrageous things about his black candidate, saying she's lazy as hell and stupid and low IQ, calling for migrants to take part in a league and fight for their survival, quoting Hitler on the campaign trail. His own former chief of staff came out in the middle of the election campaign and said, well, he used to praise Hitler, and I think he meets the definition of a fascist. We've not seen that before in our lifetime, not in the UK, not in Canada, not in the United States. This is ostensibly a conservative party that has gone so far right that they're comfortable coalescing around Donald J. Trump, a man who has said, if you elect me, I will be a dictator and I will terminate the Constitution. His words, not mine. So it's been astonishing to see a man like that still commanding, almost half of the vote.
Mehdi, it's good to talk to you. I hope you're well. I saw a clip the other week of you on a TV panel on CNN, and I have to say, it made me gasp. And I'm kind of, pretty hardened to the sort of abuse that gets traded in a TV studio and the kind of the way that kind of, passions can flare. Do you want to just take us through what this guy said to you?
Well, it's interesting you should bring that up, John. And I'm as thick-skinned as you, if not more so. And it takes a lot to shock me. But it's the first time I've ever walked out of a live TV show in my 15 years of doing live broadcasting. It was a stunning moment where a Trump-supporting panelist, and not any Trump-supporting panelist, a guy who's very close to vice presidential candidate J.D. Vance, who was invited to give the Republican viewpoint on a panel discussion on primetime CNN, said to me, after I said I was a supporter of Palestinian rights, I hope your beeper doesn't go off. In reference to the killing of Hezbollah members and Lebanese doctors and civilians and kids in an Israeli terrorist attack a few weeks ago. It's astonishing. I mean, I've endured racism and Islamophobia for many years, but to have on live TV a quite prominent conservative voice say, well, maybe you're a terrorist and you'll get killed, is a new one even for me. But I think, John, it goes to the heart of where we are in the US right now. We are living in a country where some of the worst elements, far-right elements, nativist, demagogic elements, have been emboldened by Donald Trump, by J.D. Vance, by Elon Musk, by others. And I think that's what makes this election today so important. It's not just about a candidate winning or losing. It's about a group of people in this country getting permission to do what they haven't been able to do for years, which is be openly racist and violent.
I'm just hearing something that both of you might be interested in knowing, that there are initial reports coming through. We were talking about Georgia extending its voting beyond midnight to 12:45. Some reports of bomb threats being made at several Georgia voting centres. Let's hope that's just mischief of a low level and low order. But that's a worry, John.
Yeah, Sheila, there was a report of that earlier on in the day, and it was not credible. It was and Brad Raffensperger, who was the Secretary of State for Georgia, who obviously came to fame in that very contested phone call with Donald Trump, where Donald Trump asked him to find extra votes so that he won the state. They are saying that that was misinformation coming from Russia. There was no credibility to it. I've got you here. They're projecting that CNN are reporting that Kentucky has gone to Donald Trump and that Vermont has gone to Kamala Harris. So the first electoral college votes are on the board now. The 8 electoral college votes of Kentucky to Trump, the 3 to Vermont go to Kamala Harris. So there we are. We're underway. We're underway. The first projections of results have been made.
And they're both as expected.
And both absolutely as expected. I would have eaten something very unhealthy if Vermont had gone to Trump or Kentucky had gone to Harris.
Your hat, I'm sure, is all you'd have eaten.